Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight, we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Quickly to the air is Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
After the interception, here's Smith. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Smith. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Throwing now is Geno. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Smith. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. They snap it to Smith. Oh, hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. Now the Giants are going to get the football back.
No surprise, they try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get
right?
your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands up. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now, this defense for the Eagles, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And the Eagles with a dime look, 6 DBs on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his second interception.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Geno now to throw. This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. From the 50, it's Smith. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Geno. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. The Eagles at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Smith. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 14. Great way to convert on third down there. 21 yards to play. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Aaron Robinson in on the stop.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the completion good for just 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. We're scoreless after 1. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Okay, ready?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goddard, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
From the 27, Wilson. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, the defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes with... He's got a man, complete! And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they've been seeking.
On first down, Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to knock it away, as we just saw there. The scoreboard tells the story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Wilson will throw again. Got a man, Slayton. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Darius Slay with a pick. There he goes left side. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, mistake there by the offense, Charles. They tried to pick on a Pro Bowl corner in coverage there, and not the smartest decision. He reminded him that he was a Pro Bowl corner with not only the pick, but the pick six.
And those guys who have that designation, sometimes they get a little bit bored in games because people try to avoid them. They absolutely love it when they get challenged, and it's a chance to remind everyone exactly why they were tagged as one of the best in the league the prior season.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wilson. Trying to lay one up deep. And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. A shotgun snap for Smith. And it'll be intercepted. And the Giants are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Barkley inside handoff. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Two runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Johnson to return it. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Giants are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
After the interception, here's Wilson. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 35. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now it's Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. Wright's got it. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. Gano's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Now Gino on 1st down.
That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
And they'll play keep away from the returner, as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They go play action now. Wilson in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action. It's Smith. He's got a man wide open, complete. And they are able to stop it, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
Devontae Smith.
His 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the Eagles take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Takes it at the 7.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, This one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Wilson.
Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger.
And this play comes to a hold at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They're going on fourth down. It's Wilson. Going up top. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the former Giant, James Bradbury. They find some open field here. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-six TD.
And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick-six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded inside the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Now Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
They'll go option to the short side. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 7 yards there. Good enough to move the sticks.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. 47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Smith. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change.
Open, and he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, yeah.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants him to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try to hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
They go play action with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
Cut. Ready? Pat the 50. Pat the 50.
Throwing now, Smith. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth. Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
This one out quickly to Watkins. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I'll tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree.